Have you ever noticed that when you start making more mature financial decisions, the people around you start to get uncomfortable? It might be hard to understand, but often, when you decide to stop spending money on unnecessary things, when you choose not to go out as much or stop showcasing a perfect life on social media, people begin to distance themselves or even criticize you. They don't understand why you're doing it. And here's the secret. Real growth, true success, usually happens in silence. Truly wealthy people don't need to prove anything to anyone. They're not interested in flaunting their achievements or showing that they're making money. They prefer to work behind the scenes, focusing on building what truly matters for the future, without caring about the opinions of those around them. They know that every quiet step they take is an investment in what's coming. There's no need for applause or instant recognition. They have a clear goal and know that time and silence are their greatest allies. Of course, this doesn't mean you should isolate yourself or cut all social ties. What's being suggested here is that sometimes it's necessary to slow down and focus on your own growth without the pressure of always having to prove you're on the right track. The secret lies in understanding that by growing in silence, you're building a solid foundation that no one can take from you. Have you noticed how some people feel the need to constantly show that they're rich? They show off expensive cars, designer clothes, and luxurious homes just so others can see and believe they're successful. But in reality, many of these people are deep in debt, trying to maintain an image of wealth that is, most of the time, purely superficial. True wealth doesn't need to be seen. In fact, the truly rich prefer to keep their financial lives quiet. They know that instead of spending money to look rich to others, real wealth lies in making invisible choices. They prefer to invest in assets that generate consistent returns, like real estate, stocks, or businesses, rather than in consumer goods that lose value over time. Instead of showcasing their achievements, they keep them to themselves, because they know that true financial success comes from doing the right things at the right time, without the need for external validation. It's not about impressing others, but about building a solid financial foundation that will eventually lead to freedom and stability. And when success arrives, it comes naturally, without needing to be displayed at every step. What really matters is the long-term impact of your financial decisions. Instead of showing what you have now, invest in a future of financial peace without the pressure to prove anything to anyone. That's how the truly rich think. Real wealth doesn't need to be seen, it needs to be built. People who live without a plan often fall into the same financial traps. Impulsive spending, thoughtless decisions, and especially lack of direction led many into a constant cycle of frustration. They try to adapt to other people's expectations, seeking motivation from what others think or do. But the real secret lies in silent, strategic planning. Those who have a plan don't need external motivation. Motivation can fail, but a well-structured plan will always provide direction, even during hard times. When you know exactly what you want to achieve and where to start, distractions become less tempting. And here's the important part. Your plan shouldn't be shared with everyone around you. Most people will try to steer you off course, often unintentionally, with their own limiting beliefs. They might say you're being too cautious or that you're taking too long, but what you're really doing is focusing on what truly matters. Execute your plan in silence. The best financial decisions don't need applause or instant recognition. They require consistent action, even when no one is watching. And by acting this way, you ensure that you're on the right path to success without the pressure of outside opinions. Your plan is yours, and the only person who needs to believe in it is you. Most people spend their energy and money chasing social status. They buy their dream car, wear designer brands, and live in big houses, believing that this defines success. But in reality, these are just liabilities, items that demand ongoing expenses and don't generate any financial return. They may seem impressive for a while, but they quickly lose value and over time leave nothing but debt behind. The wealthy, on the other hand, deeply understand what it means to build real wealth. They know that true wealth comes from assets, things that generate money over time. And the key here is understanding that these assets are often invisible to the public eye. While most people focus on accumulating material goods and trying to appear rich, the wealthy prefer to silently invest in assets that keep working for them, even while they sleep or rest. Investing in real estate, stocks, businesses, or other income-generating ventures is what allows the wealthy to live with financial freedom. Instead of spending money to impress others, they direct their resources toward building a network of assets that provide long-term profit. And the best part is, while others spend their money on liabilities, the wealthy are constantly accumulating invisible assets that grow and multiply over time. That means when you invest in assets, you're planting seeds today to harvest fruits tomorrow. The beauty of invisible assets is that they don't need to be shown off. It doesn't matter if others see what you're doing or not. What matters is that you're building a sustainable financial future that doesn't depend on anyone's approval. Unlike liabilities, which only drain your money and energy, assets work for you. They multiply, generate income, and before you know it, turn into significant wealth without anyone needing to know how you did it. In the end, when the results appear, the silence of your journey becomes the greatest proof of your financial intelligence. As you start achieving some level of success, it's natural for the noise around you to increase. People around you may begin to question your choices, your financial decisions, or even your lifestyle. Many may criticize you or try to steer you off your path, simply because they don't understand what you're doing. And this is where the true key to lasting success comes in, protecting your mind from noise and criticism. Financial growth comes with challenges, but the biggest ones often aren't external. The biggest challenge is internal, how to keep your peace of mind when everyone around you is trying to tell you what to do. Criticism is constant, especially when you decide to take a different path. And the truth is, the more you grow, the more criticism you'll face, especially from those who don't understand what you're building. That's why truly wealthy people develop emotional armor. They understand that what others think of their choices does not define their success. They know that inner peace and confidence in their own plan are more important than other people's opinions. They don't need to prove anything to anyone. And this is a reflection of the emotional maturity that comes with building wealth. They know that by focusing on what really matters, they're on the right path, regardless of who criticizes them. That emotional shield doesn't mean ignoring all advice or closing yourself off from constructive opinions. It simply means that when criticism is not constructive, when it's just noise and negativity, you must learn to let it pass without affecting you. This takes practice and patience, but over time, you begin to realize that the only judgment that truly matters is your own. You need a calm and focused mind. Without this internal peace, it becomes impossible to make wise financial decisions, invest in assets, and protect your wealth. The noise of other people's opinions can throw you off track, make you lose focus, or even convince you to make impulsive decisions that harm your financial journey. So take care of your mind. Protect it from noise, distractions, and criticism. Focus on your goals, on your long-term vision, and always remember, others don't need to understand what you're doing. What matters is what you're building for the future. That's the secret of the truly rich. They're immune to noise and criticism. One of the greatest lessons the truly rich teach is the importance of not putting all your eggs in one basket. Many people make the mistake of relying solely on a single source of income, whether it's a fixed salary, a business, or a single investment. When you depend on just one stream of income, you become vulnerable to unexpected events. If that source fails, you're in trouble. That's why the rich create multiple streams of income, and they do it quietly. They know that by having several income sources, they can protect themselves against risk and ensure a safer, more stable future. These sources might include rental income, stock dividends, profits from side businesses, crypto investments, or even digital products that generate passive sales. The key is not to focus on just one way to earn money. They build a network of streams working in their favor. And the secret here is doing it all discreetly. Contrary to what many believe, you don't need to announce to the world what you're doing. The idea is to build these streams silently without flaunting anything. While most people spend their time and energy showing off what they have, the rich focus on building income systems that work even without their constant involvement. They know that by creating something that generates passive income, they are ensuring long-term financial freedom. These income sources don't need to be big or complex. They can start small. A rental here, an investment there, a side hustle you run in your spare time. The important thing is to have several streams that, together, contribute to your cash flow. Diversification is key, and over time, these streams grow, become more stable, and eventually offer the financial security that many dream of. The real magic is that these income streams can keep flowing even when you're not actively working on them. Passive income is the key to financial freedom, and by building it quietly, you avoid the external distractions and pressures that could throw you off course. Instead of worrying about what others are doing, you focus on building a system that guarantees your financial independence without exposure and without needing anyone's approval. This approach is the true essence of growing in silence, building something valuable and stable without needing to show it to others, just with the certainty that you're on the right path. One of the biggest traps for those seeking wealth is the desire for immediate results. Many people want to plant today and harvest tomorrow, expecting instant rewards for their efforts. But the true process of building wealth is a long and often lonely journey. The wealthy know that roots grow in the dark, without applause, without instant recognition. They understand that to reach success, one must persist, even when no one is watching, and especially when everything seems to be working against them. What most people don't understand is that the road to financial freedom is filled with challenges and obstacles. There will be moments when you feel tired, unmotivated, and even doubt your own choices. But the truly wealthy know that the key to success is to keep going, even when no one believes in you. When you dedicate yourself with consistency, even in the face of difficulties, what seems impossible to others eventually becomes your reality. Persisting, even when no one is watching or believing, is a fundamental trait of those who achieve financial success. The secret lies in continuous action and trust in your plan. You don't need applause at every small step. The reward comes with time, and the real achievement is staying focused and disciplined, regardless of adversity or the lack of immediate recognition. When the fruits begin to appear and wealth becomes visible, that's when many people will realize how much you've worked in silence. They'll see the success, but won't know how much you had to endure when no one was by your side. The process of financial growth isn't linear or easy, but when you persist through the hard times, the reward is something no one can take away from you. Perseverance, then, is what separates those who reach true financial freedom from those who give up halfway. It's not about being smarter or faster than others, but about being able to keep going even when the road gets hard. And with time, you'll reap the fruits of that persistence. In today's world, we're constantly bombarded by distractions. Social media, news, and the pressure to live a fast-paced public life cause many to lose themselves in activities that don't contribute to their personal or financial growth. In a scenario where most people prefer to spend their time on entertainment or meaningless debates, the wealthy choose to study in silence, improving their knowledge and skills without needing recognition. While many waste hours in unproductive discussions, without truly learning or evolving, the truly wealthy use that time to educate themselves. They read books about finance, investment strategies, success stories, and most importantly, they apply what they learn. They know that knowledge is a powerful tool that can change the course of their lives, and that learning doesn't need to be constantly shared or displayed. Many people see education as something limited to formal institutions, but the wealthy know that true education comes from a constant pursuit of personal development. A book that costs €20 can be more transformative than years of traditional schooling if it's read and applied strategically. And this silent learning doesn't happen just through books. The rich also learn by listening to podcasts, watching documentaries, talking to mentors, and applying the lessons they receive. Moreover, studying in silence allows you to focus on what really matters without the pressure of others' expectations. There's no need to announce that you're studying or improving yourself. Real change comes from within, and the results, though they may take time, are inevitable. Those who dedicate time to learn, grow, and study quietly develop a unique edge that over time translates into real and lasting wealth. This commitment to continuous learning is one of the greatest assets the wealthy possess. They know the world is constantly changing, and the key to success is adaptability. When you invest in knowledge, you're investing in your future. And while many are distracted, you'll be silently preparing for great achievements. Silent study, away from everyone's eyes, builds the solid foundation on which you'll construct your true wealth. When you decide to start your journey toward financial freedom, the initial impulse is often to look for quick results. We want to see rewards right away. We want to prove to ourselves that we're on the right path. But the greatest secret to long-term success lies precisely in patience and dedication to the process, not in immediate outcomes. Many people feel frustrated when results don't come as quickly as expected. The fear of failure and the urgency to reach financial success can make us question if we're really on the right track. But here's the truth. Building solid wealth takes time. Like the farmer who plants seeds and waits for them to grow, true wealth is the result of consistent action, even when progress isn't immediately visible. The secret is to trust the process. With every step, no matter how small, you're getting closer to your goal. Don't let yourself be discouraged by the ups and downs along the way. If you keep investing in your learning, practicing financial discipline, and staying focused, the results will come, but in their own time. And when they do, you'll see that what truly mattered wasn't what happened right away, but how much you learned and grew along the journey. So, keep your trust in the process. The best results are not the fastest, but the most enduring. What separates successful people from those stuck in cycles of mediocrity isn't what they have, it's how they think. Your mindset is the greatest asset you can cultivate on your financial journey. And most importantly, the right mindset can turn any challenge into an opportunity for growth. If you have a scarcity mindset, you'll always see obstacles as insurmountable. On the other hand, if you adopt an abundance mindset, where you believe there are always opportunities for those willing to learn and act, your path becomes clearer and often easier to follow. Mindset isn't just about being positive. It's about believing that you have the power to shape your own destiny, even during adversity. The wealthy think differently. They know success isn't a one-time event, but the reflection of daily choices. They're not afraid to invest in themselves, whether through education or new opportunities, because they know the return will come later. Their growth-oriented mindset allows them to see failure as a lesson, not an end. Remember, everything starts in the mind. What you believe you can achieve, you will achieve. So whenever you face a challenge or doubt, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I grow? By cultivating a success mindset, you're laying the foundation for prosperity. The fear of failure is one of the biggest barriers many people face. Often we hold back from taking important actions because we're afraid something might go wrong. But the truth is, real failure isn't in making mistakes, it's in never trying at all. All great entrepreneurs, investors, and leaders have made mistakes along their journeys. However, what made them successful wasn't a lack of failure, but the ability to learn from those failures and keep going. They know that every mistake is an opportunity to learn, and that failure isn't an end, it's an essential part of the path to success. Remember, when you try something new, you're taking a step toward growth, development, and discovering your true abilities. The only real failure is when you choose not to act, when you let fear paralyze your decisions. Every attempt, even if it doesn't lead to immediate success, is a chance to become stronger, smarter, and more capable. So don't be afraid to fail. Try, learn, and if needed, try again. Every effort counts, and it's through action that you'll finally achieve what you desire. Success doesn't belong to those who avoid failure, but to those who keep trying until they succeed. Many people believe that financial success is something that happens suddenly, a big opportunity, a lucky break, or a stroke of fortune. However, the reality is quite different. True success is achieved through consistency, hard work, and ongoing dedication to your goals. It's easy to be impressed by stories of great wealth gained quickly, but few people know that behind those stories lies a path made up of small steps and smart decisions taken over time. Financial success doesn't come from a single grand action, but from repeated, consistent actions, even when the results are not yet visible. If you commit to following your financial plan every day, to making small improvements to your habits and maintaining discipline, you'll begin to see results over time. Often, the fruits of your labor will only appear after a long period of perseverance. But consistency always pays off. It's what separates those who succeed from those who give up halfway. Remember, success is not a matter of luck. It is the result of consistent actions performed day after day. If you persist, stay focused, and act with determination, success will come naturally. When people begin their pursuit of financial freedom, many focus solely on investing in real estate, stocks, or other financial instruments. However, the most powerful investment you can make is in yourself. Knowledge, skills, and self-development are the foundations that support all other financial success. Investing in your education, through courses, reading, or experiences, gives you a competitive advantage that no material asset can offer. When you dedicate yourself to learning, you're creating a form of wealth that will never depreciate. The market, opportunities, and even the relationships you build along the way are directly influenced by the skills you acquire. Often, the greatest return from investing in yourself is not immediate, but long-term. The value of a new skill may not be visible right now, but it will show itself in your ability to make smarter decisions, create new opportunities, and deal with challenges more effectively. So, don't underestimate the power of investing in yourself. The knowledge, confidence, and abilities you gain over time are the greatest assets you can build. And by doing so, you'll be ready to take advantage of opportunities while others are still looking for a quick fix. Investing in yourself is not just a smart decision. It's a guarantee of ongoing growth. Fear is a natural emotion and often helps us avoid danger and make cautious decisions. However, when it comes to reaching your financial goals, fear can be one of the biggest enemies of progress. Fear of taking risks, fear of failure, fear of the unknown. These are obstacles that can paralyze your actions and block your growth. The secret to overcoming fear is to act in spite of it. Instead of letting fear control your decisions, learn to use it as fuel for action. Wealthy and successful people are not immune to fear, but they don't let it control them. They face their fears with courage, learn from each situation, and when needed, adjust their strategies. But they never stop moving forward. Every step you take outside your comfort zone is an opportunity for growth. And it's important to remember, the fear of failure is often more paralyzing than failure itself. In reality, failure isn't the end. It's just a lesson that prepares you for success. The more you face your fears and act despite your doubts, the stronger you become. So if you're feeling afraid, know that it's simply a sign that you're challenging yourself to grow. Don't let it stop you from making important decisions. The biggest risk is not trying, and the greatest progress comes when you overcome fear and move forward with confidence. Many people have good intentions. They know what they want, have clear goals, and dream of a more prosperous and free financial life. However, dreams and intentions alone are not enough to achieve success. The true difference between those who reach their goals and those who remain stuck is action. Action is what makes things happen. Without it, even the best intentions remain just dreams. Many people wait for the right moment or a big opportunity, but in reality, the right moment is now. Don't wait for perfection, don't wait for ideal conditions. Start with what you have and move forward with what you can do. Every small action you take today builds the path to your success tomorrow. Great financial achievements don't come from one big decision, but from a series of consistent small actions, whether learning about investments, saving with discipline, or creating new income streams. Every step matters. When you act, you create opportunities that didn't exist before. Even if the results take time to appear, consistent action begins to generate momentum, and eventually the results will follow. So, if you have a goal in mind, stop waiting. Action is what turns your intentions into concrete results. And remember, the difference between those who succeed and those who fall behind is the willingness to take the first step, even if it's small. Every action is a step forward toward your financial future. Many people tend to see success as one big event, something that happens all at once, like a grand victory or an unexpected prize. However, true success is built day by day, from small wins that add up and eventually take you to the top. Every small action you take, even if it seems insignificant in the moment, contributes to your progress. If you save a little every day, invest consistently, and commit to learning something new, those small wins will accumulate and turn into major results over time. Don't wait for big leaps or rapid transformations. True success comes from consistency and dedication. When you focus on small daily wins, like organizing your finances, learning about investments, or cutting unnecessary expenses, you're building a solid foundation for long-term success. The most important thing is not to be discouraged if the immediate results aren't visible. Small wins, over time, become major victories. So, celebrate the small wins. Every step in the right direction is a success, and by stacking those victories, you'll be building the path to your big success. What truly matters is your persistence in doing what needs to be done every day until you reach your goals. So did you enjoy these tips? If so, share them with your friends and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more content like this. Remember, the journey to financial success begins with the first step, and you're already on the right track. Let's keep moving forward together.